Now then, after that last video about the G-Tech battery vacuum cleaner and sorting out the battery, there was a few comments about Dyson because I'd used Dyson cells to refurbish the G-Tech battery. Anyway, by the way, this is the new lot. I'm just about to fire those, just slightly taller. Put that out of the way. Right, so I've got this, which is a DC59 battery Dyson. Yep. I know that one works, but it had a Duff battery. What a surprise. Yeah. Anyway, I got this from a member of the family who scrounged it from a skip. And you think, oh yeah, the bits will be interchangeable. Yeah. None of the old BMC sort of philosophy. Every bit is slightly different and nothing will fit. Isn't it just absolutely appalling? And I'm going to show you one or two things. And I'm also going to show you how to take the batteries apart. Okay, so let's zoom down. So this might get a bit chaotic. Here's the DC59. Yep. And that is the type of battery that fits it. Little nib there. Yep. Okay. And watch this. It fits just like that. And it fits beautifully. Okay. And there's a screw there which holds it in place, and a screw on this tab here which is a bit broken, but at least it's still there. Okay, fair enough. Now this is a battery from, let me move this out the way, from this one. Yeah, and it fits. Okay, they've moved the screw from here to up there, and they put an extra screw fitting here. Alright, but that's not the only other thing I've done. So I've got one of these with the tab missing off it. It's here. Yeah. When you try and fit one of these in there, wrong one. I think this is the one. When you try and fit this in there, it won't go. Yeah? It's like, you what? So not only are these guides slightly different on here, yeah, but there's a little nibbins there, and it doesn't marry up with, where are we? I'm trying to catch up with myself. See, that there has got a little, where are we? Little upstand there, which marries in with that there. So they've made minute differences just so you can't retrofit. I mean, it's just like, is this industrial sabotage, or is it one of the greatest ways of polluting the planet? Anyway, enough of that. What I also found out, because I've got several of these batteries, yeah, is a way of getting these apart, because you've got to get this end off here, and I don't know whether you'll be able to see this, but just there, let me just get this, there, 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 there and there are latching tabs. So how are you supposed to undo that? Yeah, you're not. That's the bottom line. You're not supposed to take them apart, are you? They won't allow you to. You're not worthy. Right, anyway, let's go to the bench vise and let's take this apart. Okay, here we've got the bench vise. There's the join there. See that? I'd forgotten there's a little screw there, but I've got that apart. So let's just remove that screw. Okay, right, now you see this here, let me zoom in a bit. Okay, this here is the spring loaded trigger. Okay, so now we need to pull that out of the way, and we need to go back to the bench vise and pull that, squeeze there and pull this, yeah, and remove the battery pack. It's a push fit in there, yeah, don't short out anything, but you've got to grip that really hard and give it a major wiggle. So there's a little screw just there, down there, and that holds the light guide that sends the lights to either side when it's being charged. So that screw's got to be removed before you can remove the batteries from this case. So I'll just do that. So now I'm just going to, we've got this lot out the way, right, and I'm just going to wrap a cloth across there just to stop things shorting out. Then it goes in the vise. Reasonably tight. Hopefully you can see this, and then you've got to wiggle like mad. There we go. Hopefully you saw that. Hopefully my elbow wasn't in the way, but if it was, well, that's just the way it is. But you get the idea. The cloth, make sure you don't short out any batteries, and undo the screw so that this little bit can come loose, and then it comes off. Okay, right, now we can see what's going on. That's it, right. Now let's just zoom down a bit, because this is quite important. You see this trigger here? The trigger in the vacuum itself, there's a little red lever that just pushes on that, just like that, okay? So we can lift that out like that, and it operates that micro switch there. So in the not running off position, that micro switch is actually compressed. It's when you push down does it switch that on, I'm assuming, yeah? This here is the charging port. Now that little micro switch sits on those two pins there, and it locates with those two holes there. See there, those two holes? Yeah, and it sits that way with the switch, the white bit of the switch facing down. Yep. Now I want to just check this. Let's get the multimeter, set it on continuity. Okay, does it work? It does work. Right. Yeah. How are we going to do this? So I'm just operating the switch. So that switch works fine. Okay. So next thing is, which of these is connected to what? So theoretically, because that switch is in the on position, we should get power to there. Okay, zoom out. Hopefully you can see that multimeter. Yes, you can. So it's on, and we're getting a ghost voltage of 0.08 volts. Okay, so what voltage is the battery pack at? More than 20. 24. So that is a good battery pack with a Duff BMS. Doesn't it make you angry that they make these battery management boards? Yeah, just that's the bit that packs up. So where are we? Have we got any voltage anywhere on this board? There's 4 volts there, 12 volts there, but we can't get the voltage to there. Now, is both sides of it switched, or does it just switch one side? Let's go from this there to there, or there. Ah! Okay, so that one's live all the time. Good. And that would be a... I'll have to have a look. That one there is a positive. Positive, 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 positive. That'll be a negative there then. So where is... Where is a negative? It's all encapsulated. There's a lot of chips in this. There's a little... it's probably got 30 pins on that little chip there. Too small for even... You know, you need best pair of glasses and another one on top. So we know that one's negative and that one's positive. Okay. So we have another pack somewhere. That's negative. Okay. I'm just going to check that that is negative. go round to no, it's not, that's positive. I got that wrong. So that one is the positive. So they switch the negative. Okay, so on this other board here I've written positive there. Yeah, that's still the positive. Okay, they haven't swapped the polarity, which I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, that's the positive as well. Okay, so we've got a good battery pack, but we can't switch it on because I don't know if you can see here. Yeah, you probably can't. Right down the bottom there. There we go, you can see it. That is the trigger. So that down there operates this little micro switch. Bizarre, isn't it? Yeah. Built-in obsolescence. What more can you say apart from the only good thing about these is they're a good source of 2 amp hour 18650 cells. And if you go to the VAX, I've got some here. These ones are out of a VAX and they're 4 amp hour cells, 40T, yeah, and these are bigger, so these would not fit in that G-Tech, but 4 amp hour cells, very handy if you've got a piece of equipment that will take the size of cell. Yeah. It seems to me that the battery management boards on quite a lot of these bits of equipment are just not up to standard. We've got the Makita ones that with a timing chip that goes, no, you're not worthy. The AEG drill, that had a very good battery management board, and it had obviously suffered loads of abuse because the cells were absolutely worn out. But new cells and away you go. Same with the G-Tech. But with these Dyson ones, nah, forget it. Yeah. If I could think of a way of getting this to work, you probably could. I mean, it may be that the charging circuit is fine in here. But it may not be. And there's so many little, there's a rectifier there by the looks of it. There's a chip there with innumerable legs, about at least 8 each side. There's another chip there. There's a blocking diode there. Nothing looks like it's got hot, it's just packed up. The thing is, it's not just an individual one. Why do you think I've got all these? Yeah, because they're all packed up. Yeah, and what happens to them? Do they get recycled or do they get landfilled? What an utter waste. So as a counterpoint to this appalling story, here's a good one. Quite a long time ago now, I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know, late 80s, that sort of time. We had a Morris Minor Traveller. And we went on a holiday to the North York Moors. And when we got there, fine. Next day, battery was flat, or low. Not flat, low. So I got the starting handle out, and away we went. And I identified the problem as in a slack dynamo belt. which I thought, that's a bit odd. Anyway, we had a tootle about that day, came back, next day, just the same, and the belt was slacker. So I tightened the belt again, and a couple of days later, we were out in the hills there, and we pulled up to this little petrol station, really quite, you know, dead rural, in a little village, grass growing up through the concrete and that sort of thing. Felt like the grapes of wrath. It was great, and we filled up with fuel, and of course it would be leaded fuel at that time. And I said to the guy, you haven't got an A series engine kicking around anywhere, have you? And he went, because that would be BMC A series engine, because the Morris Minors and the 1100s and the Minis, they all had basically the same engine. And he went, I think there's a mini engine over there in those brambles. So I said, can I have a look? He went, yeah. I said, I need a water pump. He said, okay. Yeah. So I wandered over there, and there was this mini engine laid there with a water pump on it, and the water pump wasn't seized. So I think I paid him £3 for this water pump. So I got the spanners out, took the pump off, and of course that evening, 10 minutes, I changed the water pump for this new one, put the fan back on, because the fan bolted onto the water pump pulley, and away we went. So, you know, you don't get that with this sort of rubbish. Right. Anyway, I just needed get this bit out of my head, because this is what I found out so far, and I was experimenting to try and get one of these to work in here, and it would need some form of external switch. So you would probably have to fit a micro switch on the back here that went, yeah, see, but you can't, because your hand goes like that. So you'd want, where would you put a micro switch? You've got a battery there, so where would you put a micro switch that's got enough beef about it to be able to switch on the current for this? There's a thing that I would appreciate some thoughts on. But, you know, besides the fact that the batteries are rubbish, I mean, this earlier DC59, it seems fairly reasonable considering, yeah. But then this later one, you've got broken catchers, broken bits of very, very thin plastic, overcomplicated nonsense. So, and I think Boots Owen, he did a video recently about how appallingly difficult it is to get some of the modern Dysons apart, to clean them, especially around this sort of stuff. Yeah, specialist screwdrivers, and you've really got to want to do it. So is that a recipe for waste or what? Let's have a bit of a discussion about this, and I will catch up with you soon. Cheers for now.